Today, it is my great pleasure to welcome David Levy, the Chief Marketing Officer of OrbitMI, and Ali Riaz, the CEO of OrbitMI, to our interview. OrbitMI is a maritime technology company focused on AI and machine learning innovation that has recently made strategic moves, including the acquisition of AUCube Intelligence and a repositioning as an intelligence technology innovation hub. David and Ali, thank you both for joining us today.
We're delighted to be here, Joachim, and looking forward to a good discussion.
Let's start with your recent strategic moves. OrbitMI recently acquired AUCube Intelligence, bringing AI automation agents to your platform. Ali, as a CEO, what was the strategic vision behind the acquisition, and how does it accelerate your mission of making maritime more intelligent?
Good question. The strategic vision was very simple. The industry has enough dashboards and static reports. What's really missing are agents that act, not just observe, not just monitor. And AUCube is giving us that leap. Their expertise in AI automation lets us move from, you can call it descriptive analytics to proactive intelligence. And that's where the workflows run in the background and decisions surface in the real time. And today, what you're seeing on the screen is often static, often after the fact, after you cannot do anything about it. So the whole idea is to help not just data to see what wrong you did or what right you did, but what you can do about it to impact your business. So this aligns directly with our mission of making maritime more intelligent. And that's by reducing the friction between data, decisions, and ultimately actions.
That's a compelling vision, moving from agents that just observe to agents that actually act. And you mentioned this shift from being seen as just another software as a service provider to something much more comprehensive. You've repositioned OrbitMI as an intelligent technology innovation hub powered by AI and machine learning. How does this strategic evolution change your competitive positioning and market approach?
Yeah, good question. So we shifted from being seen as a SaaS provider of point solutions to being recognized as a hub that integrates, learns, and adapts. No company works only with one system, right? They're always going to, even between PowerPoint and Excel and Word, you're using three systems. And if they weren't compatible, you know how the world would be, right? But if you take that in a bigger scope and look at how VMS and communication system and the merge system and weather routing and all these things don't speak to each other. And it actually is more damaging than Word and PowerPoint and Excel not speaking to each other. Because in those things, you're creating something. In all these other maritime solutions, you're actually either losing money or you have potential of making money. So by positioning OrbitMI as an innovation hub, we stand apart because we don't force customers into yet another silo, right? That's personally, and David and I talk about this a lot, silos are really bad, right? Anytime you have one reality in this silo, another reality in this silo, you just forget about optimization, forget about automation. You're just struggling knowing which silo has the right information. But unfortunately, each silo has some right information and some wrong information. So the battle continues between the silos. So instead, we offer our own technology, very great algorithms around optimization, very cutting edge automation capabilities around compliance, business intelligence, competitive intelligence for the chartering world. But essentially, we take a bigger responsibility than that, beyond us. We don't charge for it. We don't make money on it. But we are extremely passionate about that. Actually, the end customer gets value out of not just our technology, but all the other investments they made. So we integrate across systems and add intelligence on top. And that creates a single version of the truth. Now, in financial services, that's not even a question. Of course, Whenever you have two systems with two different information, somebody's head is going to be chopped. But we are at the beginning of a new era here in Maritime, and it's both exciting, but you can imagine the huge upside there is for the industry as a whole and the different players. So that fundamentally changes how we go to market. It's less about selling modules, but more about enabling clients to plug in, expand. And this is a word that I think we just throw it out there, but we don't really do it. It's continuous improvement. Uh, Iteration is extremely important part of innovation. Iteration is a very important part of fine-tuning, optimization. If anybody could create one thing and be done with it, then why would anybody create new software, new technology, right? So enabling our clients to actually be in a position to continuously improve, I think that's what we will live and die by.
I have to say, I love your approach regarding the silos. I have worked for a long time in a large corporation, and this silo thinking, that was terrible. And to try to overcome this sounds to me amazing. So excellent from my perspective here.
Joachim, if I can add one comment, I think sometimes these silos also create a lot of weird behaviors in organizations. And, it's my fiefdom versus your fiefdom, and I'm right versus you're right. I think when regulatory comes in hard and brutal and relentless, it just forces an organization to get their stuff together, right? It just can't afford people to, battle internally. You have to get aligned, you have to get to single version of the truth, and you have to optimize and really meet the requirements of regulatory. And that regulatory is not going to say, oh, we understand you have multiple systems and all of them have different information. They're going to say, you didn't report on this time, this is your penalty. And very often, top management may have been a little bit more flexible, may have been a little bit more decentralized in their leadership style. But if you look across all of the industries, the moment regulatory forces come in, it forces the organization to become more efficient. So it's a bad thing, but sometimes we need a real motivation to deal with a bad thing.
I love your approach to breaking down silos. That analogy of having all the kitchen ingredients but no meals really resonates. The integration philosophy clearly requires strong product leadership, and with Alexandre Lapointe joining as Chief Product Officer from the AU Cube acquisition, how is this leadership change shaping your product roadmap and development strategy?
Well, Alex brings a rare combination of deep AI knowledge and practical product execution. And under his leadership, our roadmap has tilted more towards automation, explainable AI, and modular services, but under the umbrella of, you may call it vessel commercial performance. In the end, our clients are interested in making money. In the end, our clients are interested in reducing cost. And in the end, our clients are interested in reducing risk. So with his leadership, we are able to take a lot of the stuff we do, but pinpoint to the P&L. And him having both a brilliant technology mind, but also years and years of working in maritime, it's that rare combination, right? You actually can talk meaningfully about technology. You're not just throwing things out there and frustrating customers. Everybody knows they want to be data driven. Everybody knows they have to get to kill the silos. But how do you do it? And for that, you need knowledge, and you need to have multifunctional understanding, and then you need to have a load of empathy. And I think anybody who knows Alexander, he has all those things in buckets. So he's also reshaping how we build smaller cycles, faster iteration, closer cooperation with the clients. And that's also visible in how quickly we moved from AI prototypes to production-grade agents inside our reporter and optimization modules. So, uh, a lot of AI stuff will be will never be realized. Some will be done wrongly and discourage people. And, like usual, 20-30% will actually be successful. Now that 20-30% may change the world. So it's not little. But the old saying back in the days, we used to say that 67% of IT projects fail. That's not going to change, right? So, but what Orbit does is that it allows you to get to a place where you have data quality and you have very good workflows. So you get in the position of, okay, that what we decided there wasn't that perfect, but what did we learn from it, and can we then iterate on the platform? So he's bringing all of that together in a way that is very sympathetic, that the market has plenty to do. Um, and at the same time, they need to move fast so they don't get behind the schedule on being ready for the compliance stuff. That's regulatory requirements are coming.
It sounds like Alexandre brings that rare combination of technical depth and maritime domain expertise that's so crucial for real world implementation. Let's dive into the practical applications of this AI focused approach. You mentioned that AI is central to your mission. Can you share specific examples of how your AI agents are automating maritime workflows and what impact you're seeing?
Yeah. So let me go through our three areas, or for example, reporting, optimization, and charting, for example. In reporting, instead of manual known reports, AI agents now check, they validate, even pre-populate compliance and emission reports automatically. Uh, that saves enormous amount of time, right? The problem with compliance in any industry is that it requires actually somebody very knowledgeable to review, but it's also very routine work. So you want really smart people to do routine work, you're not going to be successful in your talent acquisition. So compliance, there's no other way to deal with it than automating it. So just, I've never seen that anybody has been successful dealing with compliance in the long run or mid run or even short run sometimes. Um, and not being able to automate it. So you can imagine the whole reporting getting from ship to shore and from shore to regulators, how that needs to be as few fat fingers involved as possible, right?
That's a good analogy. So, so the fat fingers,
I
yeah,
have more
they are
colorful
often,
words, but we'll just stick with that.
yeah, but it
On the
describes it. It describes it very nicely. Yeah, so perfect. Yeah. So these,
we human beings, I mean, people are scared about AI and all that stuff, and I'd leave that to the sociology professors. But as far as I know, is that human on routine work, humans make more mistakes than machines, and that's why I think we have computer science.
yeah, that's why people quickly switch to trusting algorithms, machine learning outcomes, and AI outcomes quickly and more than maybe humans. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a reporting example. I have a couple of more for you. Optimization, for AI monitors, weather, routing options, and automatically they can flag when a voyage, for example, is a voyage plan is deviating from optimal efficiency. You knew that was your plan, and everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Isn't that what Mike Tyson said, right? So yeah, so you deviate from plan, but you need to know you're deviating from the plan. And by these agents can give operators an actionable alert rather than a static forecast or report of what happened in the past. Uh, that's a very important part. You want people to make better decisions. You have to put them in a timeline where the decisions are valuable. And knowing the right lottery number after the lottery happened is not that valuable. It's already happened. Chartering, another example, agents run continuous TCE and bunker calculations, uh, putting best fit chartering decisions to the front line. And the impact is you can measure the impact. You can really touch and feel it. And the customers are reporting reductions in manual workload up to 40%. Our client, Stena Bulk, has even had more because they've been a long-term user of the product. And they're feeling more and more confident in the data, right? I mean, one of the reasons Maritime has traditionally not relied so much on data is because they hadn't trusted it. Data's fault. Not all the vessels are reporting. Some are reporting bad. Some vessels have a lot of capability. Maybe they have a crew that is more accurate. Maybe the crew is not accurate, right? So by the time you get the information in front of you, it may not even get to insights, right? It's just data that you don't trust. So I think over time, you're going to see that people are going to say, okay, you know what? Now I have experience with it. I've seen my this data, and I can now see that for the last 12 months, it's been plus, pretty accurate with maybe a standard deviation of error of 1 or 2%. Um, and that's when people are really going to build on top of it. And that's what we want to make our clients ready to tackle. Those examples, but I think David has 38 examples altogether in our spreadsheet, but I think these ones everybody can relate to.
Those are impressive results. 40% workload reduction is substantial, and I appreciate the honest acknowledgement about trust and the data quality being foundational issues in maritime. These capabilities seem to be resonating with major industry players, from proven customer successes like Nissin Shipping, the fleet-wide deployment strategic partnerships with Bureau Veritas. How do these validate your technology approach and support your growth strategy?
Well, for one of our customers, Nissin Shipping, it's a public information. We announced them, so I feel comfortable talking about it. It was very clear that they wanted to uh, uh, scale and be data-driven, but they didn't want to lose precision, right? And very often people think that when you get generalized data, then you lose that touch, that precision aspect of it. So as part of our relationship with them is that they have actually validated that our platform scales fleet-wide without losing precision. And then you have Bureau Veritas, who's an investor in OrbitMI. They validate the opposite side of the equation: trust, compliance, and quality assurance. So together, in this case, if you take these two, they demonstrate that OrbitMI is not just innovative, but also enterprise ready and credible. And this is so important, right? I mean, people ask me like, what does it take to build a software company? Well, I can build a software company for $500,000. But if you want it to work and you want it to have APIs and you want it to be SOC and you want it to have ISO 27001 and you want to have 24/7 support, it costs a little bit more. So enterprise ready is something that is going to be, the buyers are going to be very well aware of it, because sometimes they invest in a technology that's new, but it looks good and they show some good dashboards, but it's not something that you can actually uh, consider as a critical component of how you run your enterprise. So that's important to us. It's not just the inside intelligence and taking data and information, turning that to insights in real time, but also that it's the IT team can relate to it. They can work with it. They understand that we're compliant with the things we have to be compliant with. For growth, this partnership gives us, sorry.
Go ahead, Ali, and then I wanted to add on to something that you were
So,
saying.
for growth, this partnership gives us lighthouse references that rest of the market can follow. Not everybody is an early adopter. Not everybody is an innovator. Some people have different strategies. Some people are very busy with other M&A or something. So they just want to say, okay, who else is using it? Are they happy with it? And then they can also have a little bit more trust in trying it. So because it reduces adoption risk for new clients and accelerates our ability to expand through partner channels. Sorry, David, go ahead.
What I wanted to say is that, in this conversation, we've covered a lot of areas from acquisition strategy to integration to AI to security risks to enterprise ready. And I think what's important for us to understand and where we're seeing in the marketplace is these are the expectations of our customers. We're not just talking about topics because you're interviewing us, Joachim. This is what customers are asking. And we're trying to frame the conversation that because of these forces, whether that's geopolitical, AI, regulatory, which Ali has mentioned, commercial, which we've mentioned, that we're entering a new era in maritime. We're calling it the connected maritime era because for us to accomplish all the things that we want to accomplish as an industry and for us to deliver the value that we need for our clients, things need to be connected. And that's not just systems, it's data, it's people, it's partners. We've spoken for a long time about transparency and partnership and collaboration. And those are great topics. But what customers are asking us and which we're delivering, and as Ali mentioned, there's some that we can't actually talk about yet, we're delivering this level of technology and system and workflow connection, which is enabling people to do the things that they need to do. And in a lot of cases, as Ali mentioned before, it starts with compliance, right? Because those are the things where the pressures are coming. But back to the original premise, this industry really is focused on how they can make a profit and how they can make money every day and reduce risk. And so, in order to do that, the companies that work with the ship owners and ship managers, they need to be not just integrated and open, but they need to be able to make these connections. They need to be able to adapt to the customer. So all of these things that we've been talking about kind of feed into this notion that in this new era, if you want to succeed, whether you're a provider such as Orbit or a ship owner or a user, it's about connecting all of these systems in a way that people can use them to drive their business outcomes.
And connecting systems, data sharing sometimes scares our client base, but nobody's asking them to reveal their payroll or their third-party contracts or their agreements with the commercial agreements, right? That's not what it's about. Banks are super connected on multiple inside and outside their environments. So it's perfectly possible to share and create and collaborate without and still keep your confidential information confidential. So
Finally, looking toward this connected maritime era that David just mentioned, looking ahead, what's your vision for where OrbitMI and the maritime technology landscape will be in the next 2 to 3 years?
Yes, I'm a humble student, so I'm learning everything and learning something every day. We all are, ask me again in 3 months, and I will probably add some more comments or adjustments to this. But what's clear is that the industry is unevenly ready. And the leaders are experimenting with AI, while many still run on spreadsheets. And I have the most fascinating thing I've found in the journey of OrbitMI is this dialogue, this conversation I've had so many times with potential clients and clients or prospects, if you like, where we talk about our system and they say, well, we have lots of systems. We have a system for this, we have a system for this, we have a system for this. And then we talk to the teams, and the team's like, we're still manual, we're still running spreadsheets, we still don't know what's going on. We're still too late to, So it's really fascinating to me that on one hand, you have everything in the kitchen. You have all the fruit and vegetables and all the protein and all the kitchen utensils and all the cooking gear, but there are no meals. I just think that when people tell me that they have a system for everything, that is irrelevant. What's relevant is, are your teams making the right decisions at the right time? Do you have data blindness, right? Are you compliant? Do you know where you want to improve next? And if you don't know those things, then you should scrap all the systems you have because they're just probably just costing you something. But every system has some value, of course. But you're not really done with your system thinking, with your infrastructure thinking, if you're still behaving like you don't have those systems. I can talk about this for a long time, but I think this is the most fascinating thing. But our strategy is to lower the barrier. Just we don't want to make it hard for people to experiment with innovation, see what results they can get. So, and we don't ask our clients to rip and replace. If somebody says, "Oh, we have a very good ship performance model, and we've really worked on it for a long time, and we want to preserve that," yeah, that's great. We integrate that. We use that instead of another one.
Ali and David, thank you for sharing these insights into OrbitMI's strategy direction and the exciting developments in maritime AI automation. To me, it's clear that your vision for making maritime more intelligent is taking shape through both strategic acquisitions and proven customer successes. Thank you both so much for your time today.
Thank you, Joachim.
You're welcome.
See you soon.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye. You've highlighted this fascinating paradox where companies say they have systems for everything, yet their teams are still running on spreadsheets and making decisions without proper data support. As CEO, how do you see the maritime industry readiness for AI automation, and what's your strategy for driving adoption?